12. Hey guys, welcome to the 12th episode of the Ranking Show, where we're going to cover basically top 16 up till the end of Mainstage, because we already talked on the post-game show from Saturday night about everything before that. We're going to briefly touch on that, obviously, because we're still talking about this in tournament as a whole and doing that. But mainly, we're going to focus on this portion of the bracket, and then the main focus of what I want to do tonight is talk about who can still finish number one for the year, seeing how everything is gone. Basically doing that, and I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going. And then doing a rough top 10, because it's been a while and I've kind of left it be and haven't really looked over those arguments. So yeah, so let's get started by talking about how whack this is, and thank you Yoda and Valiant for the follows. Whew, yeah. Yeah, back to normal with 40 people being here. I'm still happy that 40 people are here. For the beginning of the ranking show, beyond the first episode, we had 15 people. So 42 is really dope to have. And I'm glad to have anyone here, just to have someone to talk to. Especially, and less people, even though I would love to have 500 people for every stream. The more intimate, 42 people, where we can have more of a discussion is kind of cool. And during the week, I actually have to compete with all these people who aren't at tournaments. So, Mainstage. Overall, we can go to the standings. I kind of look at looking at better. Yeah, Orange, the plan is the same to do the same thing with the big house. He hasn't, but people don't want to say Mango actually lost. Yeah, we can talk about Mango first, because God, I was so confused. I was like, where Mango? He should be all the way up here. Army Lucky. This is such a terrible performance for him, and I think he was right on the cusp. Where did I have him in the potential for finishing one for the year? Yeah, I think this was basically my cusp of being able to do it with a crazy performance at Mainstage. But I think most likely with this, Mango's out of contention for finishing number one for the year. Even if he wins, let's look at his head-to-heads. Losing on H-Box, winning on Axe, even with Leffen, down on Zane, down on Amsa, even with IBDW. And then now his losses to, now we'll have Magi, and then the Army loss, and the Lucky loss. It's just, I think Mango has too many things stacking up now against him. He can't finish first for the year, even if he wins a big house. It just, there's a lot more people. I think a lot of people could definitely do it if there's more scheduled majors or big regionals that they could grab stuff up, but it's really too late for a lot of people. It's looking very good for HBox. And before we do anything on this top 100 list, this top 10 list, this is the easiest thing I've ever done my entire life. Anyone who says Hungrybox isn't number one at this point is just wrong. He's been to more events than everyone else. He's won more events than anyone else, and he is playing really well. And the two guys who could be beating him at all these events are not competing against him. So that's not his fault that he hasn't had the chance to turn these records around. HBox is just good, and he keeps showing up, and he keeps not losing to random people. Axe also, really good tournament for Axe. I think especially, proving that he can beat Army. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I don't know where all this has come from. And having, it was a really weird that the same guy who kept it so close as Lucky was pretty dominant against Army, and even looked really good against Ginger as well. Beating Amsa again was really good, demolishing Zane. Zane looks so demoralized. I was sad he didn't go all Pikachu for Grand Finals, but it might have felt to him. He did tweet something about Grand Finals being he disappointed people by going Young Link and playing other characters, and Falco. I don't think that's disappointing. I definitely, as soon as I saw that pick happen, I was yeah, Axe is not winning. Axe cannot win. Axe's Young Link maybe has a semblance of a chance in this day and age, but his Falco is no shot. I don't think his Falco has a shot taking game off HBox. But yeah, it was really cool. Axe kind of returning back to form. He did have a nice bracket to do so, having Zane playing him for the third match. That really sucks because Zane, if Amsa would have won this match and then Zane would have got another chance to play H-Box, I think Zane could have potentially run it back. Exerted too much energy? Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. That was... Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I can imagine him being burnout. Yeah, no. Yeah, but I definitely don't blame Axe for playing another character, and I don't think he like let anyone down. Like that's beating HBox is tough. Another big hard take on that. Um, yeah, so I think HBox is like clear number one right now. Axe had a really good tournament. I don't think anything at all changes up her perception of Zayn. That's so nuts that he did not lose a single. Nice back to HBox armies and what? Well, yeah. Now that he obviously having HBox and army, but no, I guess you're kind of right. Not a nice bracket per se. No, but he performed really well. I think definitely helps my perception of Axe a tiny bit, especially that he beat army so cleanly. But going back to Zayn, the fact that he didn't lose a single game all the way up to losing his 2 sets feels really, really bad. That's so unfortunate. There's HBox into Axe. Axe is just like undoable, and HBox he kept it so close, and he destroyed. I'm surprised that happened so well. When I really thought Axe couldn't beat Army. Like I genuinely believe that. And if you go back to the stream, it was like 80% in Army's favor. So it wasn't just me. I'm like very pleasantly surprised that Axe won that. But the fact that if that's a big set that I was surprised about, that Zayn just tore through Fiction. But I think this is really good for Fiction's bid. I mean for Zayn's bid. Ginger had that close set with Fiction, barely pulled that out thanks to that taunt. If you didn't see over on Twitter, Lucky said he couldn't beat Mango. Yeah, that was I still can't believe that happened. That set was nuts. But if you might have saw at the end of the Fiction set, you saw Fiction taunt and then he died. Apparently he's switching over to a new claw grip that makes him more susceptible to hitting the D-pad. So I think he said he's playing with like left-hand claw, so that he might have like leaned his hand. I don't know the logistics of it, but he said he's switching over to a new grip, so that's how the taunt happened. Ginger also proving that he can beat Chudat, that he's good at the matchup, and beating Spark. We talked about that a little bit on the last show, but him beating Spark when Spark's so proficient at the Sheik matchup, really good. Really good tournament for Ginger, all things considered. Oh, and it was the run back against Lucky. I completely forgot about that. He beat Mango, but not Axis Valkyrie. Yeah, that's such a weird. I don't know what the phrases I'm looking for. Lucky beating none. It's really this tournament was huge for Lucky. I think Lucky is probably the one who gains the most from this tournament. Him beating S2J again. Yeah, I'm surprised how dominant the Pew Pew set was. Run up taunt. Yeah, no, I definitely believe that was just Fiction as a competitive thing. Oh, yeah. Chudak kind of falling into Ginger, like, beating that. Franz getting... Oh, I wish we could say that a Doc got top 8 in the modern era, but still, 9th beating Hugs is real good. God, I was so disappointed. Like, I was switching back between the 2 sets, between the Hugs set, and I forget what other set was happening at that point, and I was like, come on, Hugs. Hugs just wants to make this more difficult for everyone. Beating IBDW and then losing the Franz, like... When you look at this, when you look at just like this readout right here, Hugs lost to Azel and Franz, you're like, damn, Hugs had another bad tournament. And then you click and open it up, and you're like, damn, Hugs beat IPDW, Meds, and Mike Hayes. You're just like, what? What the hell happened? Where? There's no logic in Hugs. There's no logic in Samus. I don't get it, man. This tournament's an absolute nightmare. I mean, it's a nightmare for everyone except HBox, who's sitting pretty, beating everyone else. How many Game 5 sets he had? Head-to-head against Amsa. Yeah, that timeout, like, as soon as Doc Sam is very Doc favored. Yeah, as we all discussed, I still have no idea what that matchup, how that works. That's the Hugo. Yeah, I think there is has there been more? I've seen a bit of discussion on Twitter about the timeout, Game 5 timeout. As soon as like probably like a minute into that game, we all knew it was over because Amsa just couldn't come back that lead. And I don't know how we'd go about putting a rule in place that doesn't feel like it's completely attacking Puff that would prevent that. I mean, there's the obvious Puff just wins in timeouts. Puff just automatically loses in timeouts, which it feels like it. Yeah, that feels like the nuclear option. I want to say there's hopefully something that isn't that of a nuclear option they do in timeouts. And again, we really don't see it in very many matchups. And I think that's a little. I think HBox could probably do it more. Again, I'm not sure that'd be like an HBox question. Max amount of airtime. Is there a way? Does the game track airtime? Puff loses all timeouts unless up to 2 stocks. That seems a little more fair. 1 stock after timeout. 1 stock match after timeout does that. I think that's moving more in the right direction. The game does track airtime. Okay, so maybe we could do something with airtime. I think that could maybe be a good middle ground. But I think that just Puff loses timeouts. By that we mean HBox loses timeouts. It seems way too. Like, I know people think Puff is killing the game or HBox is destroying Melee, but I don't think. Yeah, play outside in depth. Now that's the all the way down the big brain meme. That's the bottom. That's it. The Philly boys have cracked it. Yeah, so I do think that's an interesting conversation. I could definitely see some rules being implemented for that. Probably not by this year. Yeah, the hedge grad limit was a good idea in principle, but it didn't really work. A rule every tournament now. Hey, our game's so old. Might as well start making it interesting. I do think there is a discussion to be had there. Yeah, but I don't think there's really much more to discuss here about the results particular. I really do want to get into this top 100 ranking, not top one. Yeah, we're going to rank all of the top 100 right now, guys. It's Hungrybox number 1, Franz 2, Curb 3, and then maybe Leffen 4. If he dropped out of a little bit less tournaments, I could maybe see him like as high as 3, but yeah. Okay. Where's E ranked? Oh, E's not. I forgot to copy E over on this little copy over thing. But yeah. Let's actually give me 1 second. Can you turn it down a tiny bit? Thank you. Cool. Let's do it, gamers. Just do a top 1 ranking. Yeah, I think everyone should just submit a ballot of 1 person, and then we will have the easiest year of ranking history ever created. Yeah, so let's do a top 10 ranking. So obviously HBox number 1. After that, it gets hard. So E is ranked 2.74. Green Dolphin Lowe's, thank you for the follow. Okay, so who is number 2? Can't see Wizrobe or Leffen catching up. That's the big thing, because I think Wizrobe and Leffen are 1 and 2. I don't know what order they are, but it's really hard. Let's just God, I wish they'd turn down that TV a little bit more. I can hear it clearly, and I just went out there, and I don't want to be a bothersome roommate, but like, okay. You heard nothing, guys. Wait, why is there like a 1 over this? Do I have some sort of notification? I don't know. All right. So again, obviously placements. Wow, I can't, guys. I don't think Leffen can be top 100. You got 129th at Genesis 6, guys. I don't think that's gonna work. Oh yeah, I also really forgot about the Shine performance. That is not great either. So across 5 tournaments, he's done pretty well. Again, placements don't matter. Let me go. Can I talk about something real quick? I know you shouldn't respond to Reddit comments or give a shit about what people say on Reddit, but hopefully someone's responded to it or said something else. See if I can find it. Because I read this and I was so confused. What does this mean? Why did 87 people up, but why am I in shambles? That HBox won? What? I have no, like, I'm more or less not upset about this. I'm just confused. I'm confused that I don't get what about, this is just the results thread. This is just the results thread, and I'm in shambles. There's nothing that is the top thread in that comment. Like, I'm so confused what that even means. Yeah, placements don't matter. That's what reminded me of it, King Arthur, because I was looking at placements, because there's no great shorthand. There's no great way to represent, like, to remember what tournaments people attended and look at their head-to-heads without looking at placements. Placements is an all right shorthand, but this number absolutely means nothing. That absolutely means nothing. I know that. Yeah, no, but this is the only time I've ever downvoted this guy too. I'm just so confused. Why am I in shambles? Like, if someone, and this doesn't matter. Who is this in reference to? Whose placement doesn't matter? I don't get it. Like, there's a lot of legitimate ways or like reasons to like shit on me in Reddit comments, but why do 87 people think this is funny? Or what do 87 people know that I don't? This is my cause for the fame. I'm fine. I'll take if I just have to see one of these upvoted comments every time. Okay, we're done with that side thing. I was just so confused about what that even meant. I was just like, most of my predictions were wrong. Like, everyone's predictions were wrong. Yeah, no, like that HBox one. Yeah, like, am I in shambles because I thought HBox? I did say that Leffen had the best chance. Did I? Yeah, I said Leffen had the best chance to win the tournament, and he didn't enter. So maybe that's why I'm in shambles. I don't know, man. I always think HBox is gonna win. Like, okay, we're gonna end the placings were weird. Yeah, like what? Yeah, because placings don't matter. Because Hugs got 13th, and I don't know if this was a positive performance for him. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to ever forget that Reddit happened or that Reddit exists. And we're going to talk about so is there anyone else you think deserves these 2 and 3 spots besides Leffen and Wizrobe? Both of them won major tournaments. Mango also won pretty decently large. Mango won a tournament, if I remember correctly. Axe won a tournament as well. These two have like the big tournament wins. Zane also does a tournament. What I think really right now is we have like this tier. We've got this tier. Maybe Axe. I think Axe has just too many bad losses to be there. Like, Axe's bad losses are, like, disgustingly bad. Like, scrolling down, it's just really gross. Axe has way too many bad losses. My tiers are right? Okay. You could argue for Axe for that Mango's 6. I don't know. We're gonna and also this groups of names are set up really weirdly. So we have like this tier, and then I guess it's probably fair to put these guys in a tier, which is weird to think. Pup versus Zombies. Yeah, I think these are probably like the tiers right now. I don't know if I'm confident enough to say HBox isn't a tier of it. If we seed that HBox is a tier of his own, I think that means he's number 1 for the year no matter what. I think if we're going to say that, I think that's probably that secession has to happen, which is scary to think. But how many? Oh yeah, that's why I had this pulled up. Actually, let me go to Leffen Smash. I want to pull up this. Even though Wikipedia gives more information, I like Smash Wiki better. I want to see how many tournaments these two have attended. Leffen and Leffen. None should be higher. None definitely should be higher. None should be way up. Mango's 0 top 10 since wins. Top 10 wins since Summit. I could maybe see Zane above Axe. It depends on how much you weigh consistency on a grander scale versus consistency on the highest level. Because Zane's spread against the top talent is really bad, and Axe's spread against the top talent is really good, but his spread against everyone else is really bad. All right, but let's circle back around. How many tournaments has Wizrobe been to? Mealy. This year he's been to 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it really just 4? Damn. I think even for that, like that right there might give might lend me to believe put Leffen over there. And Leffen's been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's so bad for both of them compared to probably the most important thing we can do is because they're all in the conversation. So Wizrobe has been the 4 events, Leffen's been the 5, and then can I just plug in HBox here? Absolution, thank you for the follow, or some close spelling to Absolution. HBox is number 1 for the year. Yeah, Mango be better. I just want to see. And he's been 1, 2. Oh God, placements don't matter. Got to remind myself that. It's always important to remember that. God, he's been to so many tournaments, guys. 1, 2. Okay, how many tournaments that kind of matter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So probably even if we cut out a bunch of those, like 10, can I see any scenario where HBox is number 1 for the year? That's what we're essentially finding out mediocre at best. That's what I really want to look at. So, God, that's tough right there. That he has, even if we cut out some of the minor tournaments, HBox has double the attendance. So Leffen and Wizrobe have essentially the same attendance here. So I think we can compare them just by head-to-heads when we see who's higher than the other. He has his Got2 loss. Does Leffen have any losses outside? Oh, he does have the Moki. He has his Shine losses, Moki IBDW loss. So his losses outside the top level are Moki, IBDW, and that's it. Wizrobes are S2J and Gatsu. I think S2J and Gatsu. What are worse losses? IBDW and Moki or S2J and Gatsu? I think S2J and Gatsu are probably a little bit worse. No, I think they're definitely worse. I take that back. I think S2J and Gatsu are definitely worse. IBDW's tilt going into main stage. Fish with the tail, thank you for the follow. Yeah, IBDW did not look great, especially against that set. If he has 2 awful losses. Yeah, so obviously, like, guys, this is all, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It all predicates on his performance at the Big House. But I think if HBox places anywhere decently at the Big House, he's probably number 1 for the year. Like, I just want to see if we can quantify or get any sort of idea about how big of that gap is, and or what would we potentially have to see for HBox not get it. It's not trying to Grand Ed 1. Thank you for the follow. IBDW. Thank you for the raid, my dude. Hopefully you didn't just hear me talking about your main stage performance. Yeah, the Big House is... Yeah, guys, everyone knows Mewtwo King's... No, IBDW is going to win the Big House. And then everything will be ruined. The rankings will be in shambles. What happens if Cody wins the Big House? Should we take our mental capacity to think about how wacky that would be? I don't know what would happen at that point. Where do we go? I forget how good of a spread he has against the top level. Like, this is definitely it's hard to just write off one weekend as a bad weekend, but Cody definitely just had an off weekend. Like, that's not the level of performance we expect from Cody, and not the level of performance we're going to see in the future. Like, he just was playing off, and like, that's completely understandable. What if Zane wins the Big House? Was that already said? Is Wizzy number 1 if he makes the Big House? Yeah, let's circle back around to that. Cody got me a little distracted with the raid. Bug House. I really want to... Can we in the future just refer to it as Bug House? Bug House 9. Yeah, there are other smaller events like the money laundering GTX and DreamHack that no one else really competes at. Like, but I don't think any of those tournaments are a big hack. I think what what's really I think is a really good way to say how far of a lead HBox has. I think if HBox just like, I don't want to go to the Big House and just like quit Melee and just played Ultimate for the rest of the year, I think he's still number 1. You guys, actually, let's I really love this new function. Let's talk about this. Where did I save this? All right, this is a really good question. I think Uh, tournaments. There we go. Is that the Crimson Blur? Yeah, what do you guys think? If HBox just like, he's like, yeah, I'm not feeling the big house. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to focus on Ultimate for the rest of the year. Maybe see if I can get PGR'd. What happens? Oh, Blur's #1 if he wins the bug house, no question. Yeah, I think this... No, I should have I should have worded that differently. Like, God, yeah, guys. I think this poll tells us everything we need to know. God, I think HBox is #1 for the year, full stop. Good work, team, guys. I ended it a little bit this word. Yeah, Fleur, I wanted to see if there's any other chance. Well, that looks like this week's video is just going to be Hungrybox is #1 in the world. Get over it. Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard about the thing about Aguilar. That Eagles game was heartbreaking. To not take too much of a detour. That was a heartbreaking. Oh, we're back at 100. Thanks, IPW, for that raid. Yeah, no, guys, I think it's over for the year. I think HBox is #1. I think even if he, like, drops 2 Garbo sets. What is... Can we get, like, a Royal Purple up in here for the King? Who's played the longest off away the measure goat? Yeah, if you want a goat conversation, you probably want to talk to Edwin and Pika for that. Even if Wizrobe wins the big house. So what would Wizrobe's been to? Like, that's amazing. A 4th, 1st, 2nd, 2nd, and 1st. Not barring, and then also his spreads. Again, placements don't matter, but like his spread is pretty good as well. But having those lost to STJ and Gatsu across only 5 tournaments really is not enough. Because Wizrobe has one of the big benefits of Wizrobe having one of the big reasons that Wizrobe has such a good spread, or we don't have enough data, but one of the reasons it's really hard to argue about Hungrybox not being one is that he went all of these tournaments, and he's got this amazing spread. He only has 3 losing records, whereas Wizrobe has been to 4 events and has 2 losing records and 1 even one. He had 3 losing records. Yeah, they have the same amount of losing records, and Hungrybox has been to probably triple the amount of tournaments. Yeah. Shouldn't we rank top 10 before talking about hypotheticals? Yeah, that's true. We should get focused back on doing that. Yeah, it just, the gap is too big. Like, HBox put in the work. He went to events and he won. Is 1-1 against AMSA. Did they? Y'all said that with stream lag. Oh yeah, it's 1-1. We just must have not had time to update the sheet. Oh yeah, because he was at Mainstage. Yeah. So it's probably not completely updated. Yeah, it's so we're a little bit behind on this because of Mainstage. I gotta remember to keep that in mind because Wheat was actually there. Yeah, it's super. It does feel really bad that Wizrobe just kind of dipped when he was like at the peak. He hasn't entered anything since June. Like, again, I respect him to do whatever he does in his life, but as a competitor, as like watching a competitor, not as a competitor first. Yeah, he got a sponsor and he was just like, I'm a head out, which is just big sad. But yeah, so HBox is #1 for the year. I think it's probably Leffen at #2 without looking at these numbers, but let's peep it up real quick. And we don't have to worry about theirs being not updated for Mainstage because neither of them compete it. So yeah, we already talked about Leffen's bad losses outside the top 6 or outside the top like 8 or whatever are better than Leffen's. I mean, Leffen's losses are better than Wizrobe. His spread, same on HBox, about the same. I'd probably say Leffen has a better chance of beating Axe. Even on Mango, that's a anyone who tries to say that this isn't he doesn't lose to Mango if he beats him. I think that's even more of an indication of how little Wizrobe has attended, that he hasn't played Mango. And I mean, Mango hasn't attended an incredible amount either, but this being blank, I think speaks to that. That reminds me of Ginger, who has like he's played everyone in the top 10 currently. That's insane. That shows that's some dedication there. Ginger deserves to be rewarded for attending tournaments for that. Like that's totally for it. Proves the Wizzy over. I'm still unsure about that, Blair. I really do like rewarding people for activity. I think that's super, super important. But the quality of Wizrobe's performances Axe should be 2 is definitely, I will definitely disagree with that. Axe has too many bad losses to be there. Who did you say over Axe or Leffen? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could over Axe, that I could maybe get beside you with that one. Definitely not over Leffen. Yeah, was he over Leffen? I think Leffen's 2. I think it's Leffen 2, Wizrobe 3. Yeah. I think that's probably pretty clear. Leffen's definitely like here. Leffen is just as inactive. That is a good point, Philly. Axe is not number 2. Yeah, Axe just has terrible losses. All right. So these 3. So I think, yeah, so we have like this tier of inactive but performed really well. What are we going to give these lame boys? That's a color. Yeah, it does feel really bad that we're ranking the guys who went to 4 and 5 tournaments this high. It's just they perform so well at these performances. Zane over Wizrobe? No. Zane has such a terrible spread against the top level. Nor does he have the big accolades. I like having, again, guys, placements don't matter. I just like having a little refresher. I hate that I have to say that every time, but it's important to remember that they don't. I just like having this so I can remember what events, to get a little refresher of what events they've been to. It's coming to Papa win over HBox is cool, but very much undercut by the fact, see, Zane has so much attendance as well. Like, and his lowest point is 9th. Like, I assume he didn't go his mains at the Mango. When I look disgusted when I look at Zane's spread. Yeah, it's so sad. It's really sad. But, I mean, he also attended so much more than these guys. He just got, like, such a hard roadblock against Axe. It was looking good against HBox for a while, but that's, like, it seems like it's back to being a roadblock because he only beat him come to Papa. Zane 3 block the rest. There's some part of me, Blur, that wants to do that. There's really some part of me that just wants to say fuck it and throw the rankings to the wind. But damn, make it all parts. Yeah. I can't. The numbers, the integrity. Rank on a non-wobbling ranking. That'd be an interesting little side ranking. You just take out all the ice climbers and just see how it ranks. Yeah, it's so hard that, because I think the spread saving them as a whole is really, really helps, because it's like, hey, they did only go to 4 or 5 tournaments, but across those 4 or 5 tournaments, they performed crazy good against the people that should be beating them, who have attended twice the tournaments. Well, I do definitely think inactivity deserves to be punished, but it's like with everything in ranking with the ballot system, like peaks versus consistency, inactivity, stuff like that. It's to an extent. And I think Leffen gets a whole lot more of a pass for me being a European player. I think he deserves to get a little bit more of a pass. Because it's green on a spreadsheet. I don't think it's crazy good. 108 shit. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. Yeah, no, but I think Leffen definitely gets more of a pass than me for being a European player. Like, obviously he has he's much more monetarily easily to get over to tournaments. And 4-0 on HBox is pretty good. Here's a hot topic for tonight. Smooth, we're already like 6 hot topics deep here, man. This is very heated in a very respectable way debate. Worst conditions, they lose a lot more. That's true. It's really hard to have discussion, and that's why I'm thankful we're gonna have the big house at least to kind of have one more event. Because I think if we have the big house and like Leffen and Wizrow buster out, that's probably a more interesting question than, because now we've kind of pretty much figured out that HBox is #1 for the year. If Leffen and Wizrope like buster out, because these events, obviously the big house should be weighed so much more against them because they have so little tournaments, even though, again, we're going to give Leffen a little bit more of a leeway because he's a European player. If they buster out at the big house, they could be caught up to by Axe and Zane. Wizrope F5 tournament. That's fair, player. That's fair. Yeah, so like hypothetically, the big house should be counted as 1/5 of Wizrobe's entire tournament performance. What actually means, God, I think you're radicalizing me, Blur. I don't like this. I really don't like this, because now I'm just like, he did have those 2 bad losses, and that's across 5 tournaments, so they should be weighed more heavily. I'm not completely unopposed. He can't fall far with this criteria. I'm not opposed to this, like Wizrobe being down here with these guys. I don't, and not that this is the order. I don't think that's crazy at all. And I think that makes a lot of sense because I really, with Wizrobe puts up like an absolute garbage performance, he could drop below one of these 3. The Crimson Blur's the Anthony Fantano of Melee stats. That's a thing. Axel, I feel okay. I think I'll pick a middle of the road here. He did have 3 good months of good play. I am not willing just yet to put Wizrobe below any of these 3 guys. Keeping this criteria is generally hurting the community. Yeah, it's tough. I do think you're, I don't think hurting the community is that, but I'm not willing just yet, because I want to wait for the big house, and anyway, these don't have to be locked in. I'm not willing just yet to put Wizrobe below these guys for activity, but I'm definitely like thinking about it a whole lot more now. But I think it's super, super fair to put, I don't think Wizrobe's up in this tier with Leffen, because Leffen's been to one more tournament for him. He's been minor performances, but because he's a foreign player, I'm going to give him that benefit. Deputy is Sime the Deputy. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Pats would be 32nd on all. That's a take, Philly. I don't know. Yeah, but Wizzy played for 3 months. He goes to rest us. Surveying. Fuck that. Okay. It'd be so much easier if Wizrobe just played like garbage this performances. Who's another person who's like barely been active? There's a lot. I mean, in this first ranking period, there's a lot of people like, I'm surprised Duck got ranked this high. Like, we all know Duck is good, but Duck really, he's shown up and done well. That's good. Blur's here for blood. Duck hasn't, yeah. Like, I think do I have my ballot? I'm either about to shame myself or prove my point. Let me look at my summer ballot. Actually, wait, I have it in the spreadsheet. Where'd I have Duck? Save rank 22nd? Okay, so I had him a little bit lower, yeah. I didn't have, yeah. I generally try to, it was a little bit harder going back to the summer rankings, pretty much be unranked. Yeah. Okay, I had him a little lower, but the summer ranking also is kind of a bad example because at that point no one was active, and now that people are still not active, like it's gonna be real hard to rank people. Like Cyrax shouldn't make. He didn't make the summer ranking. Yeah, he's nothing in here. He's not gonna make it. Crush is definitely not gonna make it. Yeah, guys, Armada should be ranked. Doug at 19th as well. There's a very realistic part. Local PRs are filled with the Shast too. Yeah. It's big scary. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I think if we're going to continue this discussion, I really am keeping this a lot in mind, Blur, and everyone else who agrees with Blur's perspective. And I'm definitely like thinking about changing my mind. I'm about where I land on this. So still keeping in mind, I just want to further on the discussion without getting bogged down to it. So I think Wizrobe is, at the very least, he should be considered in this tier. He shouldn't be up there with Leffen. Because I think I'm willing to give Leffen a bigger benefit of the doubt because of how well the 5 performance he's performed. But yeah, I'm definitely punishing Wizrobe more in mind, especially if he performs bad at the Big House punishing him. So I think Wizrobe is the highest Wizrobe can finish for this year by winning Big House is probably 3rd. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's unless we see like a terrible performance from the people above him. Yeah, I think Wizrobe probably the highest he should end the year is 3rd. I mean, that's fair. But let's talk about Max Axe Zane. Teamwork. Yeah, I'm also team punish reward activity. How Wizrobe bringing Big House not get him 2nd? Yeah, see, it's such a... See, even as I said that, I was really confused. It's booing super hard. Okay, Blur. No, I appreciate it, and I'm definitely seeing your perspective, and I really understand where you're coming from. And there, like I said before, there's that part of me just be like, fuck everyone who doesn't attend tournaments. But I'm definitely willing to give it to Leffen and slightly to Wizrobe. It's really Wizrobe's performance is going to matter. Like, Wizrobe's ranking is going to matter where he performs the Big House. We'll put him at 3rd, completely undeserved. Depends who he wins and loses to. I think Wizrobe... God, this really is a different... You get 7th from seeding alone. Guilty Gear wants my content. I think we can all agree that I don't want Guilty Gear. I really don't follow Guilty Gear, so I wouldn't be able to make anything for that. It's all about the Slay the Spire content. Come on, guys. Yeah. Yeah, let me move away, too, from that discussion of where Wizrobe could end by the end of the year. But we have to, I think no matter what, no matter where you land, or how heavily you heavily you have this, what's the words I'm looking for? How heavily you want to weigh attendance against Wizrobe, or what extent you weigh on that. You have to realize that how he does it at the Big House is huge. And if Wizrobe drops out of the Big House, I think I'm much more willing to drop him lower. Like, I don't think Wizrobe stays at 3 for me if Guilty Gear wants my skill. I have no skill. But I think we can all pretty much agree that even if you have Wizrobe at 3 right now, if Wizrobe drops out of the Big House, I don't think he should be 3. 4 tournaments for the year when you're a US-based player, that's not cool, homie. But his tournament is Big House should win. Let's talk about Axe Mango Zane. Because as much as I enjoy this conversation because it's super, super interesting, Wizrobe top platform capping the rankings. All right, Philly. Yeah, we're moving forward with we're gonna shut the door on that conversation for now, so we can talk about more things. I do think there's still a lot more to be talked about, but I'll make sure we cover more than just that. Especially because we're gonna be talking about it after the Big House. We're gonna be talking about this for weeks and weeks on end. I wonder when the ballot cutoff is going to be. That's going to be interesting, what PTAS is going to do with that. So, Mango Axe Zane. Mango Axe Zane. So, Axe's biggest benefit is that all of these guys have tournament wins. Axe has the biggest, I think, off the top of my head. Mango has the second biggest, and Zane just has Come to Papa. If I remember correctly, again, I guess he has Smash Camp. Coming to Papa is definitely a bigger win than Smash Camp. Zane's head-to-head records against the top 6, 10, whatever, are kind of garbage. Mango's records against the top level, which have not been updated, are... So Zane has fairly good consistency. Actually, who's the lowest player that Zane drops sets to? Those are Fox sets, right? Yeah. Lowest player that Zane has dropped sets to is Lod, but Lod's a top 20 player. Like, and June at locals. Like, and wait, did he lose? Okay, he lost a Mars set at one of the caves, but that's not gonna weigh too heavily on me for that. Yeah, Smash can't. Yeah, Zane Smash can't win or Come to Papa win. Doesn't matter. As carry much weight as the Gamma win. Mango has lower lows than Zane, but not lower lows than Axe. Axe has so many bad losses. Has so many bad losses, and it hurts. Like Axe would have such a great shot at being ranked super high without all of his with the Pudgy Pandas, the 2 losses, the Bananas, the Face Roll loss, the Army loss. God. The Judat loss. Like, he has so many bad losses that hurt him so much. Like, it's really... I think Axe could have, like, a campaign for... Could he have a campaign to win? I mean, maybe. I don't know. But I hate talking about hypotheticals, because if he didn't have all those losses, he'd be living in a totally different way. You're right, Blur. We got to remember that he should be rewarded for attending more tournaments. But Axe and Zane have attended. Let me make sure that number's correct. That fact's correct before I said it. Because Zane's attended a metric fuck ton of tournaments as well. How many tournaments has Axe attended? He has attended 1, 2. Well, tournaments don't matter. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Oh, we can count that 7. Axe really doesn't have that much more tournament attendance, really. Like, compared to Zane. And well, let's get Mango's tournament attendance in here. Because Axe really, like, looking at that, he really doesn't have, like, super more tournament attendance. And Mango, like, I imagine for sure has the least of the tournament attendance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, Axe has, I mean, Mango has about the same in tournament attendance as Axe. Yeah, they definitely count for a little, Philly. I was just doing, like, a rough count to see, like, the tournaments that quote-unquote matter. Second at Genesis Combo Mainstage. But you're talking about placings, and placings don't matter. Come on. Winning tournaments matters, at least to some extent, but placements don't matter. It matters who you beat matters so much more, and who you lose to matters a hell of a lot too. And Axe loses to a lot of people he shouldn't be losing to. They don't matter, Blur. Why do placings matter? Placings serve as a really good shorthand. No, they don't matter. Placing serves... Attendance does matter. Come on, placing serve is a really good shorthand. Like, I can look at these performances and be like, Leffen's done pretty well at these. But who he loses to, who he wins to. Because Leffen could get first by beating... Like, say everyone drops out, or, like, the people who he's proceeded to play get upset. Like, then his first place at an event means absolutely nothing. Okay, no, get baited. Yeah, placings besides first place to an extent. I don't know how to express that. Hot for a day. Yeah, no, hot if someone beats a lot of people in a day, that's really good, but that doesn't equate to placing first. Cuz would you say HFox has this first which of these first placer, can you tell me by just looking at this number which of these performances is the most impressive? Out of any of these performances, can you just tell me, look at this number, can you tell me which one of these first place performances? Well, this is a bad example because HFox just does a bunch of firsts. But say there was a first, a second, a fourth, a fifth. You can't just look at this number and tell me which performance is the best. Whereas if I had every single tournament with the wins and losses, who he beat, who he lost to, I'd be able to tell you which of these performances I think is the most valuable. And also, all first places aren't created equal. Like this first place. Like if I'm covering, I can't really do that. I put my hand to cover up the name of the tournament, and that really didn't work. Head-to-head match. No, I'm just saying, placings don't matter that much. Attendance barely matters. I completely disagree. Mediocre. Yeah. I think placings are an all-right metric at seeing how someone performed at an event, and that's it. I don't think they should matter at all. Barring first-place performances, which, again, that's a weird... I'm still not convinced that placings matter. Placings are just a number. Winning a tournament, I think I separate, in my mind, separate winning a tournament and placings are separated a little bit for me. Yeah. Okay, God, we're never gonna finish this. We might be beefing. No, Blur, no, come on. No. Wait. What happened to the content dream team? You say attendance definitely matter. Ban it for spam. No salty sweet. Blur would kick my ass in a debate, and Blur would also kick my ass in melee. Like, Blur could be playing his worst character, and I could be playing Falco, and I'd get my ass beat. Like, I'm not good at melee. Pixie Steak, thank you for the follow. No, and we gotta at least finish top 5 here. Why would I do a money match against Blur? I would be better donating that money to someone else. Ostino, thank you for the follow. Not saying that Blur wouldn't make good use of my money. I just get my ass beat. All right. Axe, Mango, Zane. Who of these guys are going to be ranked higher? Axe, Mango, Zane there? So Axe versus Zane is, I think the argument is essentially, let me think about this before I say it. So Axe, Mango, Zane is essentially, well, Axe, Zane. I think Mango's probably, yeah, we'll talk about Axe versus Zane, then we can bring Mango into the conversation. Ludwig beat Blur. Yeah, but Ludwig's also a fantastically much better player than I am. Axe is really good spread at the high level, but has a lot of bad losses. Zane has a pretty bad spread at the top level, but well, actually, net-based sets don't count. Axe, Mango, Zane. I don't know, man. It's really a difficult discussion because Axe's bad losses are so bad, but Zane's spread at the top level is also really bad, and having all these losses sprinkled in here, well, that's not a loss. Having these losses sprinkled in here feels real bad, and those aren't losses either. Leffen's still number 1. All right, get out of here. He's banned. Inactive chuckle fucks. All right, I'll give you points for that. That by itself, Blur. Inactive chuckle fucks is one of my favorite phrases I've heard in my entire life. God. So how much do Axe's bad losses deserve the way? The question asked for the top 100 ranking is if these people attended 100 tournaments. Let me double check what the exact wording of the question is. Is it listed here? No. Is it listed on this one? A tournament is held every weekend during the ranking period. Everyone's supposed to attend over the course of the season who performs the best. All right. So Axe cleaning up his record against looking clean against Army this weekend definitely helps a little bit in my writing away those bad losses, but still having 4 bad Ices losses is really scary for his potential in progress and bracket. Because I know if Axe gets to top 16, he probably makes a pretty decent. Yeah, unless he runs into a Sheik or a Ices. Ices a little less so now. See, this is why it's so weird to rank these people, because Axe, like, if we place these guys just in the top 8 as seeded, Axe is probably going to perform better than Zane. I think that's fair. If we just drop them right into top 8, Axe is going to perform better than Zane. But I think if we run the simulation 100 times and it's how many times these people make the top 8, I think Zane makes it to top 8 more. Because Axe has many more people who could cut him off on the way there, whereas Zane really doesn't have that. It doesn't have to be Axe, Zane, Mango. See? I don't know. Because I'm more inclined, I'm slightly... Yeah, because, like, thank you, Urs, for letting me say, because everyone just wants to put these rankings in, but I really want to think about how important it is. But I put Axe above Zayn. Oh, God. Axe is looking really good this weekend. Philly is right. Axe, Zayn, Amsa, Mango. All right, Philly. All right. Calm down. I don't think Amsa's spread is real garbage too here, and he does have those local losses as well. Amsa's carried heavily by his record on Mango. Big heavily on his record on Mango. Oh, Elderfats, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I thought I was gonna have another drought of people subbing. Hell yeah. God, my heart and my like immediate snap reaction says Axe at 4. Thank you, Elderfats. The VOD will be up tomorrow. See, my heart immediately says, like, I want Axe to be up there. But then I immediately think about all of his bad losses. I'm like, damn, that sucks. See, what's really bad is that the issues, besides Mango's performance, losses to Lucky this weekend, besides Mango's losses to Lucky this weekend, like, Mango's the perfect in-between between Zayn's and Axe's performance this year. Because he's like, Mango's an all-right spread and, like, not that bad. Well, before this weekend, he would have, like, pretty much no really iffy losses. Whereas Zayn has the bet. Mango's right between the two. Oh, God. Bad losses are certainly related to his medium attendance. We looked at the attendance. Zayn, Axe, and Mango have been to pretty close to the same number of events. Zayn's been to the most, I believe. But yeah, Axe is pretty much attend the same. Mango did lose the Magi. Yeah, like that was like the only thing. Lucky loss is better than a Lod loss? I don't know. God, I don't think I can put Axe this high with how many bad losses he has. Like, I don't think I can put Axe at 4th with how many bad losses he has. Especially, like, I was more convinced to give him the benefit of the doubt on attendance before looking at the fact that Zayn and Mango have, like, pretty much the same attendance. Axe has had one bad major. Yeah, and those majors he dodged, that was the major he finally hit in Ices. Like, what in the simulation ideas, what do you think of the odds that Axe makes it the top 16? It depends if he runs into an Ices. Like, if we run that simulation 100 times, he's going to run into Ices. And I really am happy about his performance this weekend. But yeah, it's just how many people I think are killers for Axe. There's so many people who could be killers for Axe. Like, on top of the Ices, we have all the Sheik players as well. Like, the Face Roll beat him and Swedish beat him. I don't think I can put Axe at 4th, but I don't have a convincing argument for anyone else above him. Axe has the best peak. I think Axe has the best peaks above these guys. You know, fuck it. Best peaks. High attendance. Is Mango 5th? Mango Zayn. God, I really hope Axe runs. Oh, well, there won't be any wobbling at the big house. I was going to say, I hope we get another data point for Axe versus. God. Mango's 5th? Zayn 5th? Oh, God. I was so happy that I finally bit the bullet on Axe, and, like, now I hate this argument, too. I hate this so much, too. So, do we want someone who performs better at the high level? Actually, what are Mango's bad losses? Magi? IBDW. No, that's Leffen. IBDW. Magi, IBDW. Yeah, losses outside this, like, top 6 level. So we have, for Mango, we have Amsa, IBDW, Lucky, Magi. And then for Zayn, we have Plup, S2J, not IBDW. That was when he was playing Fox, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I finally got to remember. So Axe might not be going to the big house. Oh, that sucks. There's no wobbling there. Why isn't he going? And Zayn has Plup, SJ, Triff, Lod. So it's like, I think it's Mango, guys. I think it's Mango. Especially because I think I really value a lot him demonstrating his ability and to beat he also demonstrated to beat Axe, because Axe is like a hard roadblock for Zane. There's so many people in this top level that are hard roadblock for Zane that Mango can beat. Mango also lost Army. That did happen this weekend. Bad call. Lost to all the good Peaches he's run into. Yeah. Zane has worse top head-to-heads, but better low-end consistency. Yes. If you go by peak performance over lows, it's Mango at 5th. Yes. He did also lose the Spark. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Zane gets it. I think you're right. It doesn't like going to tournaments so close together. Yeah. I think it's probably Zane. I think the cracks starting the show on Mango. And let's tournament. We're gonna go not tournaments that matter, like global tournament attendance, even though that's gonna weigh some of these smaller ones a little bit heavier. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not gonna weigh that weekly. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He went secondaries to that 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. As opposed to Mango. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Zane's over him. I have much more faith in Zane. Mango on crack confirmed by... Mango's not on crack. Mango is not on crack. Just like Axe is lost to all the Sheiks. God. Mango in 6th. Check SaveAsUntitled stream. God, that was the most painful top 6 ranking I've done in my entire life. And the fact that I'm going to have to rank 100 people this year makes me want to die. God, I don't want to talk about Fluff versus Amza. I just want to end. Okay, yeah, we do have to do this. We do have to have this discussion, though. God, this top 100 ranking is going to be the death of me. At least when you're dead, you don't have to pay rent. That's pretty good. God, this is gonna be an absolute. Has Zach lost the plup? No. Wish it would always be top 50? No, I think top 100 is super important for making these lesser players known. And as much of a headache as it's going to be, I mean, the last like 30 of the 2 ballots that I've done, Rio Coin will save you. Rio, I feel like you had that message ready the entire time, and you were like waiting for the right moment. It's like, nah, Blair's gonna hate on the Rio Coin. We'll save it till later. Arms over Plup. Let's talk arms of Plup. Doing a ballot is simultaneously the worst and best thing in the world. Like, it's one of those things where you hate while you're doing it's. You're gonna be angry when I start to make this analogy. It's like making a video, for me, honest. Oh no, the capital L. There's a lot of points in the video making process that I hate everything, especially the script writing process. I hate writing scripts and I hate recording audio. Like, it's not the most fun thing, and I really like doing research. I really like putting data in the spreadsheets and like making charts. But writing is I've never liked writing since I had to do it for school. But like editing, I love. Doing everything else, I just really don't like writing scripts, but that's like one of the most important parts. But it's so relieving and so satisfying putting something out. So Plup has been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And that was Shine was the Samus tournament, if I remember correctly. SmashCon was the tournament. Yeah, Rio beat. It was this year and last year. Yeah, 60 is going to be, yeah. Plup over IBWS today. I think Plup's essentially like having the role of a gatekeeper. Like, he's pretty. Super Smash Con. Thank you. BDD Corn Dog. So Plup's been to like 9-ish events. I already forgot my count. You beat ginger hugs and shrooms. Yeah, not even close. That's so true. And Amza, again, we have to give Amza more of a benefit of doubt because he's a foreign player. 1, 2, and it's harder for him to travel out the stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So probably his attendance, the attendance coefficient or whatever you want to say, is probably a little bit better for Amza for attending events. He's now 1-1 on HBox. What? Let me remind myself. Quick refresher real quick of what he did this weekend. Losing the Axe in HBox, good weekend off the bat. Beating SFAT again, beating Fat Goku, close set with Fat Goku. Pew Pew Army, that's a good weekend. Wish we saw more Plup. I do agree. Buttnose, we talked about this like ad nauseum at the beginning of the show, but I think HBox is number 1 for the end of the year, like full stop. Like he would have to lose to like two people who are two ultimate players who just picked up Melee as a joke. Like I think that's like there would have to be some catastrophic event for HBox to not be number 1. Yeah, like big sad. Okay, so let's compare Plup to Amsa. Plup's big. Amsa gets double eliminate. Plup M2K. Yeah. Jacksonville was joking about it in the Melee Stats Discord that it's going to be like seeded like round of 16, HBox plays M2K. Round of 8, HBox plays Amsa. Round of when he's playing the 4 seed, he'll be playing Wizrobe, and then like 2 seed he'll be playing Zane. Like if God, that would be for anyone who doubts HBox or is like he can't do it. That would be so demoralizing. I mean, that did happen at Summit like last year. All the people that beat him, he was just like, got him, got Zane, got Axe. But if HBox was just seeded for everyone with all the odds stacked against him to see them, and he just like destroys them all. Like, God, say what you want about HBox, but he's a damn good Melee player, and he shows up to tournaments. Seeding's a whole nother monster because it's supposed to be biased in terms of recency. Or have recency bias. Let's talk about Plup versus Amsa and end off this show. Still might win. Oh yeah, there's a I think HBox is the favorite. Hot take, guys. HBox is the favorite to win the big house. Actually, let's try something fun. So we haven't really talked about Plup versus Amsa yet. So I'm gonna put Plup versus Amsa into a poll. And I want you guys to vote on Plup versus Amsa right now, and then we're gonna have this discussion, and then thank you. We're gonna have this poll now, and then we're gonna have the discussion, and then before I say my final decision, because I don't want to sway the vote, I'm gonna think in my head who I'm gonna put there. This in the head-to-head rankings. Yeah, no, not who wins in the head-to-head match. So we're gonna look at who you guys think right now. We're going to look at the numbers. We're going to talk about them, and then we're going to see in the future. I really like this poll function. It's super fun. It's a lot more fun when we have like 500 people in here and there's just like hundreds of votes. But damn, I'd rather not answer because that's one way to abstain. You can't take your vote back, Zeno. It's in forever. All right. We're going to let it go for the minute, and then we're going to start looking at it. I'm going to... Not head-to-head. No. Right. Been up for a minute. So you guys pretty strongly in the favor of Amsa. So we'll start with Amsa. What does he have in his favor? HBox win. That record's now 1-1. A big winning record on Mango. And then he starts to fall off a little bit here. Where bad losses? Only really bad loss a Spark, and Lot's not that bad of a loss. It is unreassuring. Brodus, thank you for the follow. HBox win does go a long way. That is important. When you have a win over the like number 1 for the year, that's always really good to have. And even though a lot more people than normal have a win on the number 1 for this year, yeah, Lot is top 20. Peach Yoshi's a tough matchup, and Lot loss is bad. Like yeah, that's just a tough matchup. Yeah, so not really too much in terms of like losses outside the top level. Spark's the only really bad one. He did have those 2 bad losses in Japan at locals. But I'm willing to, even though they're not like completely forgiven, but with how much more AMSA attends than Plup, like based on having the travel, I think like that I'm willing to like not hold that too far against AMSA. And then Plup. Okay, yeah, it was the Samus loss. It's still not great to see, but that's the Samus loss. Losing to Moki is still weird. He lost to Moki and SFAT. Yeah, Plup's got a pretty clean resume, even though, again, Spark loss is kind of and the Loud losses, for a player of this caliber, is kind of at those Japan losses. So Plup has aggressively much better consistency. God, I think Plup might be above AMSA still. Like, I feel like every time I have this, I'm like, obviously AMSA's higher. And then, because that's the Swedish losses to a Samus, one of these Axe losses to a Samus, that's just sad. That was I think Plup still might be above AMSA. Japan definitely practices Yoshi matchup more. Yeah, I think Plup might be above AMSA. Yeah, I think a lot of times, like, I've had the same thought where it's like, we haven't seen Plup in forever, but Plup's year, like, Plup hasn't been like hiding from tournament. He just hasn't been attending stuff, but it's not like he's been hiding from tournaments. Like, he's attended twice the amount of events as Wizrobe, and he's done pretty fair. The only like big misstep that wasn't SmashCon because he was playing Samus was Shine, where he lost to Moki, SVAT, with like, which is kind of losses that from this little portion right here is like what we'd expect from a normal tournament from AMSA. Like, AMSA losing to S2J or like IBDW or SFAT or Triff is not really out of the normal for me. But if that happened to Plup, I think we'd still be like blown away. Like, that's why we were so appalled by the SFAT Moki thing. So and having a Wizrobe win, pretty sick. AMSA having an HBox win, now that the record's even, is a little iffy, but I guess you could say this is slightly comparable. Who's Rotan in full scream? If Levin drops out of Big House for Ultimate, then we can start going full blur mode and putting these players above them. Yeah, him having that loss, showing that this isn't that Wizrobe can actually do it. That was huge for Wizrobe, being able to prove that he can do it. Because this is just a losing record, even though we don't have data here. But this and that would have been treated the same way. But yeah, let's do this poll one more time. Because I think I've very much decided who I'm gonna put where. Let's do this poll one more time, guys. See what you think. Has this discussion changed your mind, or are you staying steadfast in your opinion? If you want a reward activity, you should place the more active players' Bex number. Wizzy Mango is also 100. Yeah, that's why I was saying that it's super, like, even though we haven't seen that. So much more, a little different. Now I'm not sure. Daniel, that's exactly what I'm here for. I don't want you... my videos, again, I don't care if you agree with my opinion. I just want to make sure you're thinking about it. That's all that matters. I just want people to be thinking about Melee and not just going on Reddit or reacting to their initial opinion, just be like, this is how I feel. I want people to be like, I feel this way because X, Y, and Z. Or I don't think that's true because of X, Y, and Z. So, yeah. I refuse to think about it. Yeah, you can just shut your brain off and be like, whatever. See, this is exactly what I want. Even those people who didn't change their mind, maybe I don't even know how to go about saying your name. That's something I've gone back and forth against, but like, I think when the historical data is largely in the way of doing that, and that's pretty fair, guys. AMSA's attendance and HBox's top player wins go a long way. See, yeah, Gimps, I still think that Plup is... I still hold my personal opinion that I think Plup would be my 7th if, like, the rankings end it right now. But that's a lot of credit to attendance. Yeah, like Amsa's attendance. So if that weighs more for you, that's good. I think Plup's really good record at the top level and the fact that he has really good consistency weighs a little bit more for me. And even though Amsa has to travel further and has like near the same level of attendance, which I think is really good. It's not like Plup has been hiding from tournaments. He's been there. He played Samus even when he wasn't going to be there. So I think Plup gets it ahead. There definitely could be a shakeup. I think. Let me get some colors in here. We can get. No, I don't want to change the font color. Let me get a color that me and my colorblind compatriots can deal with. Yeah, there we go. And then I think. Yeah. Oh, it's still the poll's still up there. Cool. Yeah. I also think Plup over Mango is. I don't like that. I do not agree at all. And I'm not sure if these guys are in the same tier as them, because they also. I'm inclined because I don't think it's like. I don't think anyone's gonna be jumping these tiers anytime soon. Like I don't think they're gonna jump Plup and Amsa unless barring some crazy things at the big house. Yeah, but in these two guys, I don't want to put them in because I don't have an order for them. I think that's going to be where we cut it off for the day. Ooh. Plup Amsa is close to the Mango. The Mango is to Axe Zane. I don't know. If Plup wins the big house, what's Plup attendance? Plup's attendance is pretty damn good looking at it. SmashCon CEO, Summit, Smash and Flash, Gamo, Pound, coming to Genesis. That's pretty decently good. Like for how little we've seen him, well, how little it feels like we've seen him, that's much better than you like eye test. JRD, thank you for the follow. JDR, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Plup's attendance is much better than you would expect, like following your heart. Like, when I thought about Plup's attendance, I was like, he hasn't been to anything, but that's where you gotta look at the numbers, boys. Yeah, more than I thought. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, Gimps. I was just like, there's no way Plup's been to a lot, and yeah, he's kind of been to a decent amount. Axe is a better rep. Oh yeah, Axe's spreading at the top level is really, really good. Like if Axe didn't have all these bad losses, he could be as high as Leffen, but he's so many bad losses. Axe's spread up here is dumb, insane. Like Wizard also has a really good spread up here, but Axe, the big reason that Axe was ranked so high in the summer, I think for a lot of people, is because his spread is like dumb insane at this top level. And again, this hasn't been updated with the main stage stuff, but I think like I've been trying to get to. I don't think we should sound a close set is good. Yeah, oh yeah, I don't like the only time I really keep a close set in mind for something like that is usually for predicting stuff going forward. Like if it's a 3-0 the set before, or if it's a yeah, 3-0 differences. Oh shit, we're the biggest stream. I was gonna send people over to somewhere because the show's over because I'm tired. I also really have to go to the bathroom. But who do you want to send it over? I sent it over to Waffle earlier. I mean last week. On Sunday, so I'll send over the fiction. The alien man himself. He did help me out with the video on him, but yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night. We had a long Wang Tubble had to compare the bad losses recently. Not really, I don't think. I think it's always like a balance between the two, because I think head to head at the top level and it's peaks versus consistency. I think I've weighed it, like obviously they're not going to be expressed in the same way because every little situation is different, comparing like how important these head-to-heads matter, how important these losses. It's just Xbox number one. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we can do a ranking show next week because there's nothing really this weekend, and I'm going to have those 2 streams for the big house. I don't know if we'll do anything next week, so we'll see. Definitely hit with a follow if you want to figure out what the hell we're going to do for that. Yeah, I think that about does it, guys. Thank you for coming to hang out. I'm going to send you over to Fiction stream. I used this Fiction. All right, well, if you missed any portion of it, the VOD will be over on that stream next week. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what comes about. Can I do a friends video? Definitely, Gimps and Gifts. Thank you for the follow. It's definitely a thought. I really want to do a friends video. I want to do a friends video and want to do a Spark video. So that's probably what I'll probably focus on next week, because it's pretty. I mean, well, next week I'll be focusing on the big house stuff. But thank you guys for coming to hang out. Thanks for another really big stream. I mean, it's no 500-person stream, but we'll have to settle. We can't have 500 people all the time. But again, I've been SaveAsUntitled. Thank you, boys, for coming to hang out, and I will see you guys next time. Daniel, thank you for the follow, and peace.